the whole time, and then I never know who's going to make it. Now we have certain favorites, just because we see them constantly. Killers made it, Notorious made it, and Annapolis A team. We see these certain teams over and over again. But down in the D, you occasionally see like brother teams that'll make it. But every now and then you get some new squads out here, and sometimes over the years, that's where we'll start to notice certain players. Like, oh, you guys always end up here on Sunday, and it is so hard. We talked about it with Just Myello up here in that last one, is about how hard it is in the divisionals. And Mike, you could give me a little bit of testament to that, because 20 professional pro teams, incredibly difficult. That's the hardest, but there's sometimes like 50 teams in a bracket down in the divisionals.
Yeah, and if you're a good D3 player, there's someone in a higher division who's looking to steal you. So we got the AG Knights, a New England team, breaking out to the Snakeside Aztec, but dying. New York gets a penalty, though. They're still in 50 Snake, but they received the minor. Knights losing a body out of the first Dorito. Looks like it's 3-on-3. 3-on-3, but the Knights are in the back line in the Dorito side cake, the back center, and the Snake corner. New York now in the first Dorito, 50 Snake in back center.
Knights just moved out to the Dorito as well.
But they lose another body out of the back center. New York moving on to the Knight side of the field. Looks like it's a 3-on-2 for New York right now.
Yeah, New York Brave here in a real good spot. Not only a good spot, but high body situation for them. See if they can make the most of it here. It's really got past the 50 here, has the ball for the Brave. Trying to pinch out, get a shot in on the foot. He's got his foot out a little bit here. Got to tuck that in.
That's Jeff Derman for the Knights in the Dorito, trying to just stay gun dominant on that guy on his Snake side of the field and wheel and deal down the wire. Sneak a kill and even it up.
We're holding tough right now. It's like Renee in here for the AG Knights, and he's just actually playing really solid and calm in here. I like to see that. We're early on in the game. You're in a good spot. Your team's in a good position. You have the numerical superiority. No reason to play frantic and freak out right now for Renee, and he seems very calm in here.
So critical on this field to convert your high body situations.
Oh, I think he just might have got clipped, though. The referee's right there, said absolutely not. That one did not break. And then here comes Renee. Might have a shot cross field.
Got him.
It looks like the Knights trying to make something happen. Did get that crossfield shot. So they take the thorn in their side out. Don't have somebody right next to them to push up. They are going to get a body here into the wedge, and that body gets peeled off for the Knights in that back corner bunker. So here in the D3 final match here in the X-Ball format with 10:22 to go, looks like the New York Brave going to be the first to put a point up.
I like that name.
I was thinking that same thing when I looked at the roster. So roster here for New York Brave looks like Jason Renee, Jonathan Etry, James Merlis, Thomas Robbins, Daniel Valerio, Kevin Bayat, Brent Curry, Chris Peterson, and Ryan Cox. And then also the AG Knights, Mark Getty, Adam Agantane, Jeff Derman, Joshua Ewing, Simone, Will McLean, Zachary Gagney, Adam Zippin, and Randy Peterson. So.
And Maddie, the AG Knights are coached by Evan Eames, who played on Preferred Mob, who won in Division II out here. Will McLean, another former Preferred Mob player with a D2 win under his belt. So they got a little experience.
Yeah, that was again, when I see him once and then I don't see him again for years, I'm not always going to remember.
Yeah,
but as I read Will McLean, I'm like, I feel like I've said that name out here before.
Yeah, because he makes nasty moves. He's a really good player.
What spot does he play for the Knights?
He plays the one on the Snake side. DBS Factory losing a player out of the Dorito side tower. Coalition winning a breakout, which seems key. Actually, they lose a body, so it's 4-on-4. Another dropping for DBS Factory, so it's 4-on-3 for Coalition.
10 minutes to go. Coalition with some time, but need to get something going here. And this is, I don't like seeing this. Lots of guys in the backfield here. It's
and up a body.
Never seems to really work out well.
Up a body, and their posture is defensive, and they're down a point.
Yeah, this is exactly what they did the last point. They need to push.
Yeah, and I don't know what's, and Jason, and I don't know what's been working out there on the divisional side, but that's not been working out here on this pro field. That's for sure.
Not at all.
But two more bodies dropping for DBS Factory as they're dinking them out.
Mike, has defense worked in the semi-pro divisional at all? Is it
No, it's been fast and furious out there. You win off the break and press into the spots, and that's winning paintball out here.
So it looks like Coalition, though, even, hey, if you're going to play defense, make your shots, and definitely looks like they have. So as they're now streaking up the field, try to finish this one out. So
What's the roster on Coalition?
I actually did not. I have a ton of rosters up here, as you can see this pile of
Yeah,
papers,
yeah.
but I did not get Coalition's roster.
Okay,
So
okay.
if somebody can hear me down there and you guys are hiding Coalition's roster, I would really like it. That would be nice.
Big point, though, evening it up in the D4 finals. I think a lot of it, sometimes defensive postures out here, when you get to the pro field, people are afraid to make mistakes, and that's
I
not going to
agree.
be winning ball in the long run, but
And that sometimes that plague sets in more the deeper you get, right? So if you head into the prelims, you have some games to work with, maybe a little bit of less pressure, definitely less pressure, but then the deeper you get, and sometimes we see teams get out here and they just get a little scared to make moves.
Yeah, but if you make it, sometimes it pays off. You have to take that chance.
Well, and
If you
also-
sit in the back, you're just dying.
Yeah, and with the conditions, having deep roster, Jason, talk to me a little bit about, you guys were light here at this one. It's been tough. When are we going to see Kirill? When are we going to see Karslev?
So basically, what's going on is the COVID and all the politics and everything is all the United States embassies have been closed in Moscow, so it's really difficult to get visas to come here. Hopefully in Chicago we'll have Kirill, we'll have Karslev, we'll have Kozrev and everything like that. That'll be great.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I wanted to pick your brain on that, but I was hearing that you guys have to actually go to another country in order to get to a U.S.
That is correct.
Yeah, that's-
Sometimes we have to do that. Poland, it's working. Maybe Ukraine. Like, it's difficult.
Yeah, so 9:42 to go. New York Brave up by 1 after that first point.
AG Knights dropping 2 off the break. They lost the Snakeside Aztec and the Dorito 1 off the break.
Move being made by New York Brave to give his Snake player a little bit of help. Snake player at the inside. He's at the wedge. He's looking down the sideline. Now going to look towards that center. And the body language says it looks like he might want to make a move. So, yeah, he's going to hit the deck, and he's going to crawl up. Did he get a kill on one of the players from the Knights? Looks like that is Zippin taking the walk.
5-on-3 right now for New York Brave. There's plenty of open space for the Dorito player and the Dorito number 2 to start putting more pressure on the AG Knights in those back 3 bunkers. And here we see it now moving into the Dorito side wedge. That's a smart move.
Yeah, I do like the pressure we're seeing in this high body situation for the Brave. I do like the fact that Brave did take ground on the Snake. He was probing, looking for angles, didn't see anything in the side of the move forward. He's at the 50-yard line. He's at the crucial spot over here. He's on your screen. He's looking cross field. They're controlling. He does definitely seem to have some communication, and it's going to be up to the Knights to make a shot right now.
Critically, the New York Brave have shot at least 1 off the break the past 2 points and kept all 5 bodies alive. They're going slow and methodical, using their advantage. It's getting very tight in that back center. In fact, he's dead.
And we've seen that time and time again. We've been calling that the trash can in this situation because what are you going to do? When the field is spread out and your opponents have all the angles, that guy almost always dies. Maybe.
I was shot in there too.
Yeah, I mean.
I was shot in there too.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me about what's going on in your mind in that situation, Jason. Other than, Jesus, this sucks.
Try to put him in and go. Try to get out of there. You got to put him in and get the heck out of there. So, but sometimes the problem is if you got a Snake shooting at you and a Dorito, I mean, it's almost impossible to get out. You just have to become very small.
Yeah, it's just been so difficult. I mean, very rarely on this specific layout as the play is developing with all those huge bunkers in the center, abilities to get lost, and just better angles. If you have both sides and you have penetration, it's just so easy to pinch those back players out.
Yeah.
Which is why we keep saying that we've seen certain teams go up a couple, squander leads by then going to complete defense. Now, there's been a couple certain teams, and now it's a bunch of teams over time because it's become prevalent, is that if you can take D3, Snake 2, keep those 5 bodies live, even if you're facing 5 bodies, then it becomes very difficult for your opponents to push up the field. Can they? Of course they can, but it just a lot harder based on the angles.
Yeah, but if they're holding lanes, it's even harder.
Yeah. So tie ball game right now, Coalition and DBS Factory in the D4 Division 4 X-Ball final match, but it does look like DBS going to be losing 2 bodies on the break. Disastrous break for them. Mike, down in the divisions in semi-pro, has it been a death trap trying to get to D1? Because in the pro division, it definitely has been a death trap over there.
D1 has been extremely makeable in semi-pro, and in fact, a lot of guys have been running around it into the Dorito 3. But seeing very few people die out of there off the break, and when they do, it's a critical advantage for the team that's able to shoot it. Yeah.
Because in the pro division, it has become the death trap. Like that has become the area of death is the trying to get into D1. We've seen top level players, looks like Tau being thrown, so Coalition's going to put another one on the board. I mean, we've seen top level guys get shut down. Archie Montemayor had a rough time over there because, hey, you're playing X Factor, and you know Archie's going to be running to D1. Let's put our best gun on that side. And then multiple teams just having bodies, and you know every single team struggling to get bodies out there alive. But it's, you know, if you can just do it 6 times out of 10, you're going to win every single game, right? So not just that specific move, but if you can win 6 out of 10 points, then if you can play 10 points,
I have to give it to our new pickup, Mike Waring. Like he was, I think he might have got shot once or twice going there, but he was making it, and then he kept going. So
that is
awesome.
that is a good point, Jason. Was the fact that you guys, even though you guys got knocked out, you weren't really suffering for offense on the D side. To me, you guys were having survivability problems in the center. I love Leo Smotroff, but he was getting dinked out trying to get creative. I think it was one of those situations for both Sergey and Smotroff, which we've seen so many times in different teams throughout the years, is when teams get light on roster, top level players like that feel like they have to put a lot of pressure on themselves to create, and they try to get, there's a little over battling, there's a little bit of maybe stay in this lane a little bit longer, and I think that's what we were seeing out of Sergey and Smotroff.
I can agree with that because, you know, they feel responsible, their heart is in the team, and they're trying to make sure that we win. And sometimes they just have to rely on the players a little bit more.
Yeah, and I get it. I know where their head's at. And then, so right now, up by 2, New York Brave getting the better of the Knights, and it's a little bit under 8 minutes to play here.
Both teams lost a body off the break. Will McLean survives the break for the first time. Brave has 50 Snake. Will McLean gets into Snake 2. I'm not sure anyone picked him up.
Yeah, I heard the call just now. Snake.
Yep, I think he missed the shot on the 50 Snake.
So this is McLean?
This is McLean pressing the issue now. And here he goes. Did they trade?
Yeah,
yep,
looks
they
like
trade.
they did. So that he did his job.
However, the Knights lose another, so they have to blow the towel. And I think the big difference is New York Brave is winning the battle off the break. They shot Will McLean the first 2 points. They shot the Death Zone Dorito 1 off the break this point. And then they've been following it up with aggressive play on the Snake side.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see if it's a nuance of how this field is set up compared to some of the others, because Blast Camp in semi-pro was barreling down the Dorito side with Chapeau. That was their primary offense, not the Snake side.
So we're looking at the replay, see McLean get in there, and you know his opponent already posted up. Probably may be able to hear that gun. I can't actually see if he's shooting balls out. But McLean's going to run around. He's going to do the one-hander on him. But he did his job. The problem for McLean, Mike, like you said, was that everyone died around him.
Yes. I think that's a good point for McLean, just getting in the action, surviving the break. But now they're down 3-0, and it's do or die time for AG Knights. Right in this match, it's going to be Coalition up 2-1 against DBS Factory. Coalition pressed the issue a little bit more that point after winning the breakout. Let's see if they continue to be some offense. They're lining up like a deep run.
Yeah, definitely lining up like a deep run. And that's, Al actually pulls up a little bit light and then actually ends up getting taken out. So great off the break shots here on the Snake side. That's the area of death here on the Snake side, and they made it through the area of death on the D side. Able to make it into D1, goes right past D2 and into D3 here for Coalition. They got a 1-point lead. We got 8 minutes and 9 seconds left on the clock.
One thing I've noticed is with the divisionals, they don't body fake at all.
No.
They line up immediately, and they show their opponent where they're going to go.
I like how Mike was like, no.
Yeah,
no,
that's because people miss on the divisional field and they don't miss on the pro field.
So
3 in the back line, plus the Dorito 3 for Coalition, and DBS Factory getting peeled off here. I think it might just be the Snake corner left.
yeah, Coalition.
And, you know, they're slow playing these. They probably could play it with more pace. But you know what? They're saying we're up bodies and a point. We cannot throw this one away. So let's take our time a little bit.
Well, they definitely just threw that one away. That's a bad death, trying to get past the 50-yard line. Kind of muscled into that one a little bit too greedy on that one.
especially because he's the primary attacker, so he's been getting attention the entire point.
And that forces the rest of his team to kind of reset him. They were going to make these moves anyway, but now it's a little bit more of a pressure situation for them. But they are in full control. They have the ground. They have the miracle superiority, trying to put their third point up. DBS Factory playing on their heels. And just that one body, I think, in the back corner bunker here. I don't see anyone else left alive. And we've only seen, so on the pro field, boys, we've only really seen one instance of a guy in a low body situation making it work from that back corner bunker on the snake side, and it was Meter Ninos.
Yeah.
Meter Ninos had a pretty miraculous point, and I mean, he just looked outstanding. He had actually a pretty good weekend, even though X Factor overall not their best look, but Meter was the only person I saw prevail in that situation that I can remember. It might have happened another time or two, but that was the one that really stuck out. It's just a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, to that point, like all the low body situations I've seen flipped have been someone launching and not getting picked up.
Yeah.
You know, it's not someone wheeling dealing it out of a back spot. It's just really not that field.
Yeah. Jason, what are your thoughts overall on this field? Most people seem to like it. Some people don't. And then some people it's just like, it's a paintball field, whatever. What are your thoughts on it?
So there's, to me, all the fields have different things. Like, for example, you have a fun field, you have a fast field. This field is a working field. You have to work to win.
Yeah.
You have to work to win. And also here where we are, there's so many other things. So normally you have like the shadow. You can see the shadow of the player. Now you can see the dust of the player. When you see the guy dive into the snake, you see the dust. So then you can pick up on him. So it's a lot of work. This field makes you work.
Yeah.
So I like it because you have to do these other things.
Not an easy field to play.
No,
Not easy. The conditions, the layout. It's a tough field. That's going to make whoever wins this event in every division, get that much more respect.
AG Knight survives the break for the first time. They take both towers and fill quickly into the first Dorito.
Looks like Snakeside Towers, guns down.
And that's Will McLean, one of their strongest players. New York Brave is 5 up.
Yeah,
They're in the Snakeside Tower.
Guys, I think this is a 4-point mercy rule situation
Must
right
win.
now. Yeah, must-win situation for the Knights. Brave looking to try to put the win up right now. And they're rolling the guns. The Knights the Brave are putting up a ton more pressure. Like, look at everyone out of their bunkers, rolling their guns, barely even tucked into their spots. Then you look across the field to the Knights. The Knights are all like down on their knee, tucking in as tight as they possibly can, playing low in the worst Dorito, one of the worst Doritos over there.
Will McLean thought about it and then held up, trying to get into that Snakeside wall. I think it was the Snakeside Tower who was gun dominant on him, who said, "You're not going there."
You got to give Will props, though. He didn't freak out that his gun went down. He fixed it. He's back in the game. So
he's a cool cat. He's a cool cat, Will
He
McLean.
did not freak out at all.
He plays calm. You can tell. I always appreciate when you have players that are in pressure situations constantly that don't play frantic. We even have pro players that get out there and play kind of frantic.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's frantic and proactive.
Yeah.
When you look at them, sometimes you might think, oh, that guy's playing frantic. But if you look at it further, like Malloy.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're looking at, you might think, okay, that's frantic. But no, it's proactive. There's a difference. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's whipping his gun around and playing from crazy angles, but he knows all those shots. That's intentional.
New York Brave, Snakeside Tower's gun is down, and they lost a body. Will McLean gets into the 50 Snake. New York Brave, though, getting into Dorito 3. Looks like the Knights also lost a body.
Oh, Will got a shot on him.
Will wraps and shoots the Snakeside Tower.
Well, there's 5:18 left. They need 3 if they get this one and keep enough time left. Just need 2. I mean, they're not out of it yet.
No. They're in a good spot right here. They just can't afford to lose. They got to convert this. Oh, here he comes.
He didn't know where he was. Ran right into the gun. But did he get McLean, too? Oh, they're pulling out McLean. That's a tough break here.
Yeah.
Tough break for the Knights as McLean was balling in there.
But luckily their Snake player fills into the 50 Snake, and it's just Dorito 3 and the Dorito side tower left for
They have
Brave.
no idea.
They don't know he's there. He misses his shot on the Dorito.
Oh. Communicate. Oh, there we go. He knows now.
Oh, trying to get the shot on him, and he does. So opportunities dwindling right now for the Knights.
I think they're down to the last body, Jeff Durman. And he's going to get bunkered.
Well, some close points, but, man, it was pretty much all the New York Brave. going to be putting that 4th point up here. He's waiting here to actually hit that buzzer. Probably want to get a check from one of his friends, but I don't know if there's anyone left alive to do it. So he's just going to go in there and hit that buzzer. Thought he had another body. Thumbs up, though. That's going to do it. So
There it is.
with the 4-point mercy rule, the best way to win is to completely dominate your opponents and win in a mercy rule win in the final match.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so congratulations to the New York Brave. Completely masterful here as they take down the Knights. Knight just not having much of an answer. I mean, McLean was trying some stuff over here, made that last point kind of interesting, but they always had a response for it.
Yep, and they won the breakouts. There was one 5-on-5 breakout, and all the others, New York Brave shot someone off the break, and the Knights struck out.
And I really think that based on this layout, because of the, just how deathly it's become over in there on that D side, at least on this pro field. Snake side too, but not quite as much. That last game between Impact and Heat is really going to maybe come down to who gets more kills on the break. Who can live and get more, try to get at least 4 bodies out there.